Hey guys, Steve Trowbridge here. So, I know that I'm probably a little bit late to the party as far as this subject goes, but I did want to talk about this, and that is, of course, the woman that you may have heard of, the woman that carries, if you didn't know, the woman who also apparently shits herself in public, and that is Kaitlin Bennett. Now, if you don't know who Kaitlin Bennett is, she's one of the faces of this group called Liberty Hangout. I think that she is one of the founders, but I can't quite remember, so you might want to check me on that one. But yeah, she's been stirring up some controversy lately for several different reasons. You've probably seen some of the videos on her already. I will link Hunter Avalon's video that he did on her, both of the videos, Blair White's and Miss London's, because I feel like they all brought something to the table in terms of the criticisms of her. My favorite video, I think, was Hunter Avalon's, because I felt like he did the most thorough criticism of her. Same with Miss London. I felt like Blair White kind of handled her with kid gloves. I think she could have gone a little bit harder on her, but whatever. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and give my thoughts about Kaitlin Bennett, as well as I want to discuss the reactions that Hunter Avalon in particular got, and really just this dumbass, like, tribal mentality that has developed with politics, and I guess it's been around forever, but still. I need my coffee. I'm going to talk about this. Nothing like a bit of caffeine to jog the brain. But, so, yeah, I mean, like I said, Kaitlin Bennett, she's the one that went to the rally, it's like, she got threatened by this big girl, she's a big girl, because I guess Kaitlin Bennett was interviewing her or something, and she said something, and Kaitlin Bennett said, "Oh, she's gonna eat the microphone," basically saying that she's fat. The big girl got up into her face, and Kaitlin Bennett was like, "Oh, I carry, right? I carry, right?" Like, it was cringy. I mean, yeah, the big girl was being a hostile asshole, but I mean, you go on to a rally like that, you know how it's going to be. The atmosphere is very charged, and you just insult someone like that for no reason. You're probably going to get that type of reaction if they can't control themselves. Okay? Which is one of the biggest problems that I have with this Kaitlin Bennett chick, because I don't think that she's actually trying to have conversations with people on the other side. I think she is going to these campuses and these rallies and these get-togethers and whatever else just to be a provocateur, and for no other reason. She's just trying to go onto these campuses to have gotcha moments and to have wrecked moments, wrecked, R-E-K, I mean, just wrecked moments, gotcha moments, exposing SJWs and trying to show how stupid the other side is, when half the time, and I'm being conservative with that half the time thing, she just ends up looking stupid herself. She tries to trap someone into making the person look stupid, and then, like, she just ends up making herself look stupid. There was some good example of this in the Hunter Avalon video, where she was getting into this argument with this British guy, and she tried claiming that London is the murder capital of the world, when actually that's not true at all, and that's also something that Hunter Avalon showed in his video. And this is what I think that Kaitlin Bennett is, okay? Like I said, she's one of the faces of Liberty Hangout, which, as far as I can tell, Liberty Hangout is just one of these run-of-the-mill right-wing think tanks. I mean, but whatever. I mean, there's think tanks on both the right and the left. I'm subscribed to a few of them. I think I'm subscribed to Rebel Media, if that's what you want to call Rebel Media, a think tank or whatever. I'm subscribed to a few others. I mean, the left has think tanks too, like the Young Turks and channels and stations like that. So whatever. But that's what it comes off to me. And Kaitlin Bennett just seems like one of these run-of-the-mill right-wing, conservatives who she spouts all the right-wing talking points, and that's really it. There's really nothing more to her. Like I said, I think she's trying to be a provocateur, nothing else. I described her to a few of my friends as being a blend of Ben Shapiro and Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't think that was right, though. I think that a more accurate description is that she's trying to be a blend of Milo Yiannopoulos and Lauren Southern. because the Lauren Southern aspect, because she's, I guess, a good-looking woman. I don't know. I'm about as straight as a question mark. So, guys, I mean, do you think Kaitlin Bennett is attractive? I mean, I don't know, but like, she's this attractive woman, I guess, like Lauren Southern was, who is a conservative, and she's a right wing, and she's anti-SJW, and oh my God, she's beautiful, so she must be smart. She must know what she's talking about. Which with Lauren Southern, yeah, she had that going for her, but I also think that when it came down to it, Lauren Southern could actually have, a conversation with people on the other side. And I think that she was actually intelligent. Now, she has since retired from political discourse and stuff, but, her stuff is all over the internet. You can check it out. And Milo is a provocateur. I don't think anyone, will deny that, and you can't really argue it. Milo is a provocateur. But with Milo, even though he is a provocateur, he has also shown that when it really comes down to it, he can actually have, smart political banter and discourse, and he actually does know what he's talking about. And he has shown himself to be sharp and quick-witted, and he has his facts. Even if, he may not agree with what he says sometimes, he has still proven himself to be, very quick-witted and smart, and capable of having a discussion. From all I've seen of Kaitlin Bennett, she is not capable of this. She just ends up making herself look stupid in the process. Some of the other things, I think the most disgusting thing that I think she did, though, was, and she's tried to get this clip removed from YouTube because I think she realizes that she fucked up when uploading this, and it just made her look awful. But she went up to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. It was a very small girl. It was a very small child, very young child. She was probably like 5 or 6 years old. And she goes up to this child and starts talking to her about abortion. And she's like, hey, sweetie, do you know what the #1 killer in the U.S. is? It's abortion. It's just like, are you fucking serious? Are you really just that? Can you really just not have a conversation that much with an adult that you have to go up to a fucking child and start trying to have political banter with a fucking literal child? Like, Hunter pointed this out, and then she tried to say that her father took her to a pro-choice march. It was the Women's March, but semantics. And she tried to say that, oh, well, the father was trying to politicize her and bring her to a political event. When you're doing the exact same thing, Caitlyn, you're trying to politicize this little girl too, and trying to, push your, beliefs onto this little girl as well. So aren't you doing the same thing that you're accusing this father of doing? I mean, to me, it doesn't get much lower than that. Going up to a fucking child and trying to push your political beliefs onto them and saying, oh, you know what the #1 cause is? Abortion. I got into this argument with this fucking idiot on one of my friends' posts who claimed that, well, the left does this, the left does that. They try to indoctrinate kids with LGBT stuff and whatever. Okay, look. I think that it's possible that both things are worse. I don't think that it's any more appropriate for Kaitlin Bennett to go up to a fucking child and start talking to the child about abortion than it is for Lindsay from Queer Kid Stuff to start talking about, sexuality and gender identity with toddlers. I think both things are equally bad. Maybe it hasn't occurred to some of you out there who are too caught up in thinking that your own side is right, but one thing doesn't have to be worse than the other. Both things can be equally bad. Both things can be equally inappropriate. Which is something else that I want to, discuss here. That's the response that Hunter Avalon got. Like, Hunter Avalon has gone after a few right-wing people lately and criticized them, which I think is actually refreshing, because, I think with a lot of these right-wing channels, they're only focused on going after leftists and SJWs, which is all entertaining and fun and whatnot. I watch some of those videos occasionally from time to time, not as much as I used to maybe a few years ago when I was really in that, edgy, phase or whatever, at least that's what I think of it as. But I still watch it from time to time, and yes, it is entertaining watching leftists and SJWs freak out and look stupid. But, it's refreshing to see someone who is more right-leaning, like Hunter Avalon, criticize some of the people on his own side as well. It's refreshing. It shows that you've got someone who is capable of seeing the faults of their own side and some of the people of their own side and calling out, the behavior of people on, their own political sphere. it's refreshing because a lot of channels really won't do that, and when they have, they've gotten kind of the same response. Like when Lacey Green a few years ago decided that she wanted to actually have conversations with anti-SJWs and anti-feminists, look at how people on that side reacted. They completely shat on her. They said that she was being corrupted, basically, and that she had flipped or whatever, and it was ridiculous. And then look at how, the Tree of Logic, when she was criticizing Candace Owens, she got the exact same response. And then people are saying Hunter Avallone, that he's not a real conservative, or that he's an SJW, that he's been cucked or whatever by a bunch of Kaitlin Bennett's moronic fans. And it's this kind of tribal mentality that I've really started to notice recently, and that I'm getting sick of. It's like, maybe instead of thinking that your side is right 100% of the time, and that your side can do no wrong, that the other side is they're evil, but we're good. That's a retarded mentality to have. That's a completely black and white. That's a ridiculous black and white lens to look at the world through. Okay? If you won't call out the people that are being inappropriate and who are blatantly, spreading misinformation and just being douchebags in general, if you can't do that, then you are no better than the leftist SJWs that you criticize, because you criticize them for having safe spaces and think tanks and stuff like that. When you're doing the exact same thing, you won't call out people on your own side. The right is built up to the right is the side with the logic and the facts, right? Like there's like in this current day and age and in the current political atmosphere, the right is supposed to be the side with facts and logic supposedly, but yet you guys half the time act just like the leftists and SJWs that you criticize, because you refuse to acknowledge people like Kaitlin Bennett. And you refuse to acknowledge that, yeah, maybe they could be wrong on some things, or maybe their behavior on some things is inappropriate. Like, so many of you won't do that, and if someone like Hunter Avallone does that, you freak out and say, oh, you're an SJW, and you're a leftist, and you're behaving in the exact same way. You're behaving in the exact same way that the same way in which the people who reacted to Lacey Green doing what she did a few years ago, you were acting just like those people. Do you realize that? Are you really lacking in that? And are you lacking that much in self-awareness that you can't realize that you're acting like an SJW yourself? Which I've also realized that there's SJWs on both sides. It's not just the left. There are plenty of right-wing SJWs too. One of the biggest ones, I think, being like No Bullshit and people like that, who, they think that their side is completely right, they can do no wrong, that they can't be wrong on anything. There are SJWs on both sides, everywhere. It's not just the left. That's one of the things that I've realized. I've realized that developing a tribal mentality for either side, or anything for that matter, is retarded. It's stupid. It's better to be a free thinker and think for yourself. I think the walk away, some people view walk away, hashtag walk away, as just walking away from the Democratic Party. Like, some of them viewed it as switching to the other side. I saw it as walking away not only from the Democratic Party, but from partisan politics in general, and just choosing to think for yourself. But, as far as Kaitlin Bennett goes, I wanted to talk about that briefly. I think it's stupid. I think that the people who are doing that and reacting to Hunter's video in that way, you people are just right-wing SJWs. That's all you are. You're behaving in the exact same way that you criticize leftists for behaving. But, Kaitlin Bennett first, I think, attracted attention to herself because she decided to pose with a gun in her graduation photo, which I don't really care. I'm pretty right. I'd say I'm right wing when it comes to guns. I support people's right to have guns. I don't think it's right for law-abiding citizens who don't do anything when it comes to guns to have their guns taken away. I don't think that's right either. I realize that that people who advocate for gun control, not all of them are wanting to take everyone's guns away. That's not exactly what they're saying, but there are some who do that, like Beto O'Rourke and people like that. And I think people like that are absolutely retarded. I think people have a right to own guns. And I think the Second Amendment is there for a reason. It is there for a reason. It's so if the government ever becomes tyrannical, then you have means of self-defense. And idiots can say that that's Orwellian or that that's crazy or that's a conspiracy theory, but what the fuck ever. It's true. I mean, look at history. But, but that's how she got attention on herself. And just from that alone, I think that she had a motive in mind. I don't think that Kaitlin Bennett wanted to pose with a gun in her graduation photo just to show off her principles and show that she's a supporter. I think she did it for attention. I think that she sees that people, like figures like Lauren Southern, Nan Coulter, and stuff like that, and the growing popularity with, kind of the... Because, I mean, I think that it can be argued that the right is winning the culture war currently. I think the left is losing big time when it comes to that. So she saw that that was a popular, thing to get into, the anti-SJW, the more right-wing, sphere. That was the more popular thing to get into, the more popular market to get into. And so I think that she got into that. I think she did. I think that she posed with a gun in her graduation photo for attention. Like I said, I think she's a provocateur for the sake of being a provocateur. She doesn't actually want to have actual conversations or political discourse. She just wants to trigger people and, which, whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to do, fine. But I think that's all she's about. She's not actually about having conversations. She's only about, having gotcha moments and wrecked moments and stuff like that, like I said in the beginning of this video. I think that she saw a market that was very popular, that was growing in popularity, and she cashed in on it. I question her, I question whether she genuinely believes in the things that she talks about and the way that she acts and carries herself. I think it's very possible that she could be doing all of this just for the attention. That she could have, adopted these beliefs, and I could be totally wrong on that. But if she is being genuine with everything that she has said and done, if that's anything to go by, then she's an absolute dipshit. She's an idiot. Which, I think either way, I think that Kaitlin Bennett is a dipshit. I think she is an idiot. I don't think she's a good representative for people who are, conservatives or Republican at all. And I think it's good for people on that side to be calling people like this out. I think that she's the same thing as Candace Owens is. Which, I think that Candace Owens is much the same way. I don't think that Candace Owens is a provocateur, but I do think she's an opportunist. I think Kaitlin Bennett is an opportunist as well, but I think that Candace Owens, like Kaitlin Bennett, is an opportunist. She saw that side was popular, the conservative right-wing side. She's like, oh, look, I'm an attractive female. I'm an attractive black female. And if I, become a conservative and this right-wing talking figure, I could get really popular and get a lot of success and money from this. And I think that's what Candace Owens did. I think that Candace Owens is an opportunist. And I think Kaitlin Bennett is the same way. I think she's an opportunist and a provocateur and nothing more. Blair White said that she had went on to Logan Paul's show or whatever and had a decent conversation with them or whatever. But it's Logan Paul. It doesn't take a genius to make a schlong like Logan Paul or the Paul brothers in general. It doesn't take that much to make them look stupid. They've done that themselves multiple times. They're very stupid people. It doesn't take that much to make them look stupid. I think that if she tried to have a conversation or debate with someone like Sam Harris or someone who's more on the left than anything, or even if she tried to debate Hunter Avallone, which Hunter Avallone has challenged her to a debate. I haven't heard anything about it since then. Maybe something did happen that I just don't know about, but I haven't heard anything about it. I think if she tried to actually debate someone like Hunter Avallone, that she would lose big time. She would make herself look stupid. That's what I think. I think that she is... That is if she's even being genuine about her beliefs. If she is, then she's not a good representative for that side at all. But I would believe... I definitely theorize that she is nothing more than a provocateur and an attention seeker, and that's it. Those two things kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, provocateur and an opportunist. I think that's what she is. I really think so. The whole I carry right thing. Some of the other things that she said, like saying that, oh, well, I identify as a black person, like by your own logic, her going after trans people. Oh, I identify as black by your own logic. It's the same thing. Well, no, it's not. I mean, which is another thing that I can criticize. Some aspect of the right wing is that they take issues like that and they simplify it way too much when it's more grayer than that. You know, and it's stuff like this that I think can serve as a reminder that not that one side or the other isn't all good. Like there are aspects of both sides that are bad, cringy, stupid, everything. It's why I don't consider myself left wing or right wing. Okay, I take issues, I develop my own opinions on them, I think for myself, and that's it. Okay, I'm not a partisan I'm not a partisan when it comes to politics. I'm not affiliated fully with one side or the other. I guess you could say I'm sort of right-leaning in today's current political climate, but I don't affiliate myself fully with either side. Because I think both sides have cringy people and both sides can be wrong about things. And I think this mentality that there's one side or the other needs to die too, because there's so many different spectrums when it comes to politics. People are not that black and white. People are more nuanced than that. People change, people grow, people can develop differing opinions about issues. People can change and grow with their beliefs, and that's what Hunter Avallone did. That's another thing. Hunter Avallone has grown and changed, from where he was, 3-4 years ago. I know that some of you, people, some of you Kaitlin Bennett fans probably don't realize that, but yeah, people can actually, in fact, grow and change and evolve over time, and you can actually change your opinions and positions on things. The more you find out about them, and the more that you grow and, discover about yourself. That does happen. People do grow. People do change. And it doesn't mean that they've been corrupted or that they've completely flipped, 180 in their beliefs. It doesn't mean that they're an SJW leftist cuck. Okay? It's someone who deserves to be criticized is being called out and rightfully criticized, and that is Kaitlin Bennett. It doesn't matter if you think Kaitlin Bennett is hot or that you want to bang her, that you want a white knight for, which is exactly what you people are doing right now. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. People can change, people can grow, people can evolve, and that's it. Your side isn't perfect. When you develop that mindset, that tribal mentality again, that your side can do no wrong, that's when you need to stop and question things and question yourself and question your own side. People like that are absolute sheep, and I refuse to be one of those people. And I'm glad that people like Hunter Avallone refuse to be that way as well. So, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say on this topic. But yeah, I mean, just in short, Bennett is an idiot, a dipshit. Again, I think it's a strong possibility that she could just be an opportunist and a provocateur, an attention seeker. But I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I could be completely off the mark, and maybe she is genuine about everything she has said and done. But if she has just proven herself once again to be an idiot, even still. So, anyways, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll be back with more content soon. So, peace, and have a good day.